Hello everyone, this is Ravi from AI Geek Labs. Dropout, a regression technique to reduce overfitting and improve generalization error in neural networks. Interestingly, dropout can also be used in cold start recommendation systems. Researchers from Layer6.ai have shown that dropout can be used in cold start recommendation systems. And in this video, I'll be discussing the same paper titled DropoutNet Addressing Cold Start in Recommendation Systems, which was accepted in NeurIPS 2017. Recommendation systems, we have latent models like WMF, weighted matrix factorization, SVD, singular value decomposition, ALS, alternating least squares, NCF, neural collaborative filtering to get user representations and item representations from the interaction data and use these user and item representation or embeddings to check how relevant an item is for an user or whether a user prefers a particular item or not by just taking dot product between user and item embeddings. But here is a catch. When a new user and new item is coming into the system, will not be having any interactions with the system and so will not have user and item embeddings of new user or new item. So these techniques won't work when a new user or new item has entered into the system. And these are called user cold start and item cold start. So to address the problem of both user cold start problem and item cold start problem, this paper proposes a solution using dropout. Going to the problem statement, given n users and m items, the user's feedback for the item is represented by a preference matrix R. In general, we call it as interaction matrix or interaction data. RUV is the preference for the item V by user U. It can be a rating from 1 to 5 or maybe a binary value 0 or 1, whether a user likes an item or not. And it can be calculated based on some heuristics from the rating matrix. Along with this, we have content information of the users and items. And the content information of users can be age, gender, or location, or any other information of a user. And regarding item, we have text, audio, video, or image, or any other information related to an item. And we can even get embeddings for these text, audio, or video or image using pre-trained models and use them as an extra information for building the model. And the final goal is to learn a robust recommendation model using the preference matrix R and content information from users and items. And the model should handle all stages of interaction, right from cold start to sparse to warm or dense. The authors have considered the user item interaction matrix, which they call as user item preference matrix, and get user embeddings or preferences and item embeddings or preferences using latent models like weighted matrix factorization, which they have used in this paper. The idea is how can we use the user and item content information when user embeddings or preferences or item embeddings or preferences are not available. Let's see how they have used these information and build an architecture next. We pass the inputs user preferences, user content, item preferences, item content through these hidden layers to get UHAT and VHAT for user and item. So the idea is to train the network such that when user and item preferences are available, we need to get UHAT and VHAT in such a way that UHAT star VHAT transpose is closer to U star V transpose. And when either of user or item preference is not available, use user and item content information and make input and output closer. So essentially, the model tries to perform well even for warmer dense users as well as cold start users or items. Coming to data preparation part, since the user representation and item representation is not available during cold start scenarios, to mimic the behavior, the authors have replaced the user representations with zero vectors and item representation with zero vectors, and this they call it as user dropout and item dropout. And also, there's a time gap between when new user starts interacting with the system or new item is seen by users and the latent models are run to get user and item representations. During this time, the new user representation is represented as average of item representations with which the users have interacted with. And new item representation is represented as average of user representations who interacted with the items. This they call as user inference transform and item inference transform. So in each mini batch, the sample is used with user representation, user content, item representation, item content, or user dropout and item dropout transformation, or user inference transform and item inference transformation. They used a dropout rate concept to mimic this behavior. Let's say if there are 1000 samples in a mini batch and dropout rate is fixed at zero point 0.5, then they randomly select zero point 0.5 into 1000, which is 500 users and items. And then for batch 1, they apply dropout transformation to selected users and items. And for batch 2, they apply user and item inference transformation alternatively. And then for batch 3, they apply dropout transformation, and batch 4, they apply user and item inference transformation. This is how they prepared the training dataset to mimic cold start scenarios. Coming to the training objective, we try to minimize the relevance score computed by using the representations we get from the model, that is u hat multiplied with v hat transpose, and the relevance score computed by using the representations we get from the latent model, that is u and v. And we zero out the user features in user cold start case and item features in item cold start case, so that the model is generalized both for warm start and cold start cases. Next, going to the result. Coming to the result section, they have used two datasets for carrying out experiments. One is Cite You Like, where registered users create scientific article libraries and save them for future reference. The goal is to leverage these libraries to recommend relevant news articles to each user. And as you can see in this figure, they changed the dropout rate from 0 to 1 and computed the recall at the rate 100 metric for warm and cold start scenarios. As you can see, till dropout rate equal to zero point 0.7, the warm start metric is really good, and even the cold start is performing well. But after dropout rate of zero point 0.7, the warm start metric decreased gradually. And so this indicates that there is a region of dropout values where significant gains in cold start accuracy can be achieved without loss of warm start. And this can be observed in the other table where the proposed approach bet the other baselines like CDL, Deep Music, CTR, and WMF. And since WMF cannot have representation of user and items for cold start scenario, there is no value for it. The other dataset they have used is Rexes, which is a large-scale data collection of user job interactions from the career-oriented social network site Xing, which is analogous of LinkedIn in Europe. As we can see, the recall at the rate K beats all the baselines in warm start, user cold start, and item cold start scenarios for different K values. They even performed experiments by increasing the number of layers and found out that as the number of layers increases, the performance increases. And to test the user transform, that is a user representation is the average of the item representation the user has interacted with before the latent model is updated. They took 10,000 cold start users and computed recall at the rate 100 metric as the number of interactions increased from 0 to 5. And it can be seen the user transform with the model is giving better results than WMF. Since there are no user representation with WMF initially, The recall at the rate 100 metric cannot be calculated. That's all for this paper. You can find the paper link and code base in the description. So, what about the next paper? In the next video, I'll be discussing about a paper titled Cross Market Product Recommendation, which was published in the CIKM 2021 conference. The paper discusses about the problem of recommending products to users in resource scarce markets by using data from markets where large amount of data is available. That's it for this video. If you like the content, please like and share the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates about the channel. Thank you.